I talked about the ancient God, and God knows I would love to talk about this for an hour. Just the ancient gods of the Phoenician Canaanites and how they were picked up by the Hebrews and brought into the Roman system, and from Rome into Europe, and from Europe into America, and today we call it Judaism and Christianity, when it is in point of fact nothing more than the old Phoenician Canaanite religion worshiping the planet Saturn. This is why Jews still go to the temple on Saturn's day. And Christians go to, because they're worshipers of the sun, they go to the church on Sunday. Do you know what the word church means? Most people go to church and don't even know what the word church means. Church is an English word coming from a Scottish word, kirk. Like Captain Kirk of the good ship Enterprise. Kirk in Scottish is church in English. And this is, kirk goes back to a Roman goddess named Mother Circe. And Mother Circe can be traced back to a Greek goddess, Mother Circe. Mother Circe is Mother Kirk or Mother Church. Go into your mythology library and get some books on mythology and look up Circe. And it says Mother Circe in the ancient Roman and Greek system, especially the Greek, that Mother Circe was able to hypnotize people, bring them into her home, and turn them into animals and feed off of them. And consequently, Mother Church is able to hypnotize people. Bring them in and bring your checkbook with you. And come in and then they feed off of you. The church, the government, banking, insurance, the same people who gave you your international banking, the Knights Templars of the 10th, 11th, and 12th century who gave you international banking, also gave you international religion. The Pope's headdress is a fish headdress. If I had brought all my slides, I could stay here all night showing you this stuff. I think perhaps the most corrupt system on the face of the earth, and it is without a doubt the enemy of every man and woman who loves freedom and honesty, is the Catholic Church, British royalty, and this mafiosi criminal syndicate we call the United States government. All three. And back in the Middle Ages, the Pope of Rome, that bastion of all goodness, the Pope of Rome, incidentally, I got lots of stuff when I get on the Pope. I'm Catholic. I know all about the Pope. The Pope of Rome made a proclamation in the late Middle Ages that he said that the Pope is the vicar of Christ. You may have heard that term, vicar of Christ. The word vicar in Latin simply means one who stands in for. So if you send somebody to do something for you who's the vicar, he stands in for you. So the Pope said he was the vicar of Christ, which means he's standing in for Jesus. Consequently, the idea is that God created the whole heavens and the whole earth, and he owns everything on it. And so therefore he turned it over to his son, Jesus, his son. But since Jesus isn't here, somebody's got to run this place. So since Jesus isn't here, the Pope said, I will be the vicar of Christ. I'll stand in for him till he gets back. Now when he gets back, I'll turn over the whole world to Christ. But until he gets here, I'm in charge, okay? As long as you understand that, we're going to do just fine. Now the first thing the Pope did after declaring himself the vicar of Christ, made himself the owner of all life on the earth for Jesus. Jesus owns the whole earth, but he ain't here, so I do. Now, second, he made a contract with the King of England. It was a treaty of sorts, a commercial treaty of sorts with the King of England, in which he gave the possessions of Jesus, which he held as the vicar of Christ, to the King of England as a holding company, a corporate holding company, so that the whole world would be under the King of England for the Pope. So the Pope owns it, but the president of the corporation is the King of England, and that whole corporation menagerie is called the Crown. And so when you hear about the British Crown, you need to understand there's a world of difference between being English and British. British comes from a Hebrew word, berith. A berith is a contract. In the old Hebrew language, berith is a contract, and ish is a man or men. Therefore, berith-ish becomes British, man of the contract. That's why anytime you do anything of any importance in this country or in the Western world, you gotta sign a contract. When you get married, you've got to have a marriage license. The same reason why attorneys have to have a license. Why does the attorney have to have a license? It's because an attorney makes a lot of money by using law books. You walk into any attorney's office, he's got all the law books. Law books, like any other book, are written by someone. Somebody wrote the books. Consequently, you cannot use somebody else's property, their written or intellectual property, to make money unless you get a signed release to allow you to use their material, their song, their music, their pictures or something. You've got to get a signed release, and they give you the license to use their music in your movie. The same is true with an attorney. He must have a license to practice law, because all law in America, in the law books, is copyrighted out of Canada, Montreal. There are 5 companies in Canada that copyright all American law. And they represent the British Bar Association, which is the British Accreditation Registry, BAR. And so consequently, your attorneys will tell you, I passed the bar. Don't believe it. I've seen them in bars all the time. They don't pass them. They go in. And when you understand how the courts work, when you say you're an American citizen, a U.S. citizen, you're not an American. You're a United States citizen. There's a world of difference. Now, the United States federal government, I don't know if you know this or not, is a corporation, as I said, and there are many documents I have to prove that. And as I said, I'll make those available to you, but you'll have to mail my office and I'll send you the whole stack of them. The United States, it says in the law book, is located in the District of Columbia. So consequently, what we call the United States is a privately owned company sitting in a particular area called the District of Columbia. And therefore, if you are an employee of that corporation, then you have to pay taxes to that corporation. When you pay taxes in this country, the federal taxes, that does not go to the American government. The American government does not save one nickel. America makes its money the way all countries have always made their money, not off of taxing the people. They make their money by business. When ships pull in from all over the world, they have to pay duties. People have to import, export companies. America, the country, makes a lot of money, but the United States corporation makes a lot more. Here it is again from a law book. It says, it is clear the United States is a sovereign entity, is a corporation. It's a privately owned company. Here's another one from on the corporations in law books. The United States government is a foreign corporation with respects to the states. Citizens of the United States do not enjoy citizenship rights. They are United States citizens, not American citizens. Now, there is a world of difference between being a United States citizen or an American citizen. Because before 1868, there was no such a thing as a United States citizen. There was a United States with the U and the S, small letters, and then America was capital letter. First letter was capital. United States of America. America's the country. So what I want you to understand is that there is a very simple way to figure out how you got into this mess. And do we have a full hour? Oh, good. Okay, so I can get into a little bit of the religion then.